Good evening and welcome to the Door 14 Hockey Podcast. You are joined tonight by the stand-in host extraordinaire that is me, John, and I'm joined by Dave.
Hello.
And Aaron.
Hey.
Like other well-known superheroes who come from the 80s who are resurgent as of this evening, we are back once again to talk all about hockey. Do you know which 80s superhero I'm talking about?
It could be the one and only He-Man.
Absolutely. He-Man is back. And I've just realised I haven't plugged in a really important cable. So I'm going to do that whilst I run through the very, very quick intro.
Oh no, we can see us
Stay
crack.
calm. Everyone,
Crack John.
everyone stay calm. Everyone stay calm.
We got to see his builder's butt flare for a second there.
There you go. Here, I am in the middle of building a house, so it's no wonder. Hopefully it was out of focus and it was a quick enough little thing there. Guys, let's start the podcast in a slightly different way this time around, and let's pay tribute to someone who has been lost this past week. The hockey community around the UK was saddened to hear of the passing of 18-year-old Blake McCahey. Blake was a passionate hockey and particularly Belfast Giants fan. He met and touched a lot of people throughout fan bases across the UK over his short life. He had a tough 3 periods, it's fair to say, but he did it all with a smile and with strength and with bravery. Guys, sad news coming out of Belfast this week.
100%, and I think it's just to show the amount the community has spoken out and talked about how much Blake was loved. We're not just talking about fans; we're talking about all. Like, I think I've seen a statement from nearly every single team, talking about the loss of Blake.
Absolutely. 100%. And the loss of someone so young is never easy. So, of course, stick taps go to Blake from the Door 14 Hockey Podcast, but of course our thoughts are with his friends and family. I know his funeral is, I believe, tomorrow. Anyone attending has been asked to dress how Blake would know you. So I imagine there will be a number of hockey jerseys in attendance tomorrow. But of course, a difficult day to come, and our thoughts are with everyone. But as I said, particularly with friends and family. Guys, let's move on. How are you? Dave, it's been a while. I believe this is your first podcast of 2026. I was going to say 2016, but that's the whole thing now, is to throw it back to 2016. I, of course, did our throwback to 2016 this week. But how's 2026 been for you so far?
It's getting there. You mentioned about building your house. Got planning for extending my house. So we've been a lot of organisation for that. But talking about throwing it back to 2016, if you think about 2016, do you remember cutting a certain person's hair?
Oh, I saw photos when I was going through this, and one of them is of me hugging the aforementioned Ginger Jesus in Rockies. Rockies was still a thing back then, and I believe it was. I believe it was after that event is why I was hugging that player in particular. Yes.
Yeah. It was a very interesting night, very expensive night, but the money went to a good cause. That was to Cancer Lifeline.
I believe it was. Yeah. There was a few people got their hair cut that night as well, if I remember. Yeah, Ginger Jesus's hair was the main event, and listen, not to suggest that I wouldn't have donated to charity anyway. One of our friends, Campbell, who is the only reason that we post anything on Facebook these days, because he's the only one still using it. I don't want to say he took advantage of the fact that we'd had a few beers that night, but I left with a much lighter wallet than I intended to that night.
All for good.
Who was the
All for
local
good.
celeb we outbid? Oh, I can't remember her name. Marty would remember.
Honestly, mate, I don't remember most of that night.
Yeah.
I'm going to be totally honest. Not a thing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Funny.
Aaron, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. Yeah, keeping busy. Yeah, it's been a busy week of hockey. We had a great weekend there with the Sheffield Steelers. An interesting weekend with the Sheffield Steelers, actually. And then I was lucky to go to the game on Friday night with my son, and then I didn't get to go to the Saturday night game, but NHL on ITV4.
Mm.
And
Turn up
what a
for the
game
books.
it was! So
Well, you can't beat a wild game, like.
can't beat a wild game, indeed. So yeah, it was a really good week of hockey. I'm sure we'll talk about the standings and how Sheffield is doing at the moment, and how the Giants are doing at the moment. But yeah, everything's pretty good. I'm looking forward. I'm getting ready to head off to Boston at the end of next month. Looking to get a wee Boston game in as well when I'm out there, which is going to be fun.
Do you know who they might be playing? Have you looked this up yet?
I think it's the Pens.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
How am I? I'm not bad. I have had an incredibly... listen, not to take anything away, I'm going to say I've had an incredibly panicked hour or so getting ready for this, but that's... I've not had as bad a time as the regular host, let's just put it that way. Anyone who has been paying attention will know that... will clearly have realised that Marty's not here tonight. He's on the injury reserve list. Quite possibly the most suitable serious injury reserve that we've ever had on the podcast. Marty, if anyone isn't following us on TikTok or on... Actually, I don't think I posted this on X, just on TikTok. Marty decided to have a disagreement with a car on Tuesday? Tuesday morning?
Yesterday?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Sorry, yes, that's right. It was yesterday, Wednesday. On Wednesday morning, he was on his bike heading to work and decided, to try and body check the back end of a car. Or actually, technically,
The car
speaking,
tried
the
to
car
body
decided
check
to
him.
body check him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It resulted in a quick trip to hospital. Thankfully, nothing broken. Just unsurprisingly, the man is a bit sore, and we've given him a bye ball for this podcast. But we expect him back the following week. There's only so much sick leave that you're allowed to take from a podcast such as this.
When you're the main host.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Marty, you're either listening live or you're going to... Of course, if you're not listening live, you're going to catch up on how this goes, because these podcasts always go slightly off the rails whenever you're not here. So we expect you back in 2 weeks. No excuses.
Without, of course, Marty get better, but to bring it back to you, you had a big... Being the oldest member of the podcast, you had a birthday recently. Am I seeing greys here? Is that the light, or am I seeing a lot of grey hair?
Mate, there's been greys there for like a decade.
That's what happens when you're 50. Like
turning 50, like that's.
I don't like when this turns around the other way and it's not me doing this to other people. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
And then
guys,
Marty not breaking a bone, and I'm hating Bruce Willis. I do think he is Mr. Unbreakable. So.
You say that, Dave, but if we go by absences from the podcast, that clearly makes you Mr. Glass.
No way. Yeah. I can't.
And that clearly makes Aaron the James McAvoy character, whose name I can't remember.
The guy that has multiple personalities.
Great. Yeah. Always thought that about you. Guys, before this gets completely off the rails, I'm going to move us forward. If nobody has anything else for the intro, I'm going to get us straight through into period one. Period 1 then is where we have a look at hockey from close to home across the Elite League generally and any other GB hockey news that we care to talk about. Guys, let's start the way we always do, except with a slight change, because one of my major panics for this podcast was I could not get the graphics to work out properly. Marty does a fantastic job every podcast of getting the league standings and everything already in a really nice looking graphic. Could not get it. He sent me the link. I couldn't get it in the time I had left. So I'm really sorry. There's no graphics for this. So if you're on the audio podcast, you're no worse off than you ever are. If you're watching the video and you're expecting to see where every team is and the points that they have, I'm really sorry. You might as well just turn off now. Please don't turn off.
Don't listen to the rest of the podcast. Just turn off now.
It's not worth it if you can't see the league standings.
Great advertisement.
Guys, I'm going to rattle through the league standings and let you know where everyone is since we were last on a couple of weeks ago. In first place, for the first time this season, are the Belfast Giants, having played 30 games and securing 48 wonderful, wonderful points. The Cardiff Devils sit in second, 31 games played for 46 points. The Nottingham Panthers, 29 games played for 45 points. The Sheffield Steelers have 40 points from 31 games played and sit in... Did I say they sit in fourth? If I didn't, I've just told you again. In fifth place is the Manchester Storm. 29 games played and 36 points. The Guildford Flames are in sixth with 31 games played and 31 points. The Glasgow Clans sit in seventh with 30 games played and 29 points. The Coventry Blaze round off those top 8, those teams that will make playoffs, with 31 games played and 29 points. Some considerable distance down the table when you look at the points then are the Fife Flyers, who are in ninth, finally off the bottom of the table, having played 32 games, the most of any team in the Elite League this season so far, and only 18 points to show for it. However, it could be worse. You could be the Dundee Stars, the strongest team in the league, propping everyone else up from 10th place with 28 games played and only 16 points. Aaron, let's start with you. Let's look at the bottom of the table because we're going to come to talk about Fife very shortly here in period 1. But there was an interesting statement from their head coach this week in the local press here in Fife. He suggested that their new signings could secure them playoff position. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, those signings are clearly David Booth and Milan Lucic. They are currently 11 points behind, having played one more game than the Coventry Blaze. It's a not insubstantial gap. Is Jamie Russell right, Aaron, or is he wrong?
I mean, I think you're asking the right person. Every single time, if we talk about the NHL or anything like that, look at the Flyers, I'm always like, go for the goal. We're going to make there. We're going to make there. I'm always a dreamer. If he's a dreamer, let's go for it. In the 2 weeks since the last podcast, as you're right in saying, they actually have jumped up his position. Last time that you and Marty were talking here, they were in 10th. So they have moved up that one spot. Is that an indication of things to come? Possibly. It's maybe a bit of a tall tale to get to that point. I don't think that yes, they still have, like Dundee Stars still have 4 games in hand as well, right? So if they pull that off, what a story.
I think it's one of the greatest comebacks since, I'm not going to say it, we've all watched Parks and Recreation, everyone knows what I'm going to say there. I'm not going to finish that sentence. Dave, I'll come to you then. The middle bottom section of the league, basically looking at Manchester down. You could throw a mat over all 4 of those teams: Manchester, Guildford, Glasgow, Coventry. As far as games played, they're all somewhere between 29 and 31 games. There's only 7 points between them all. They are important positions. Do any of those teams look like they're going to falter hard enough to give Fife that potential advantage to take a playoff spot?
I don't believe so. Especially whenever you take into account Manchester is nipping at the heels of Sheffield, with a few games in hand. So they're pushing to move up in the table. They're all super competitive amongst each other. I know that Guildford's had a bit of a mare over the last few weeks, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Now, saying that, the team that Fife had even before those two additional signings wasn't poor. It was their consistency was the issue. They would play a 40 minute game and then lose out because they wouldn't have the longevity. Adding those two people might give them enough if they had started the season with Dave Booth and Lucic. I think we could have been a completely different story. Because then they would have been built into the systems and they would have been there from the get go. Putting into the perspective that Fife had the Giants number from the very start. So, what could they have done if they had started the season with those signings? But as you said, it'll be a serious sort of Cinderella story if they do pull it back. But if they do, 100% be right behind them. And if they make it to the playoff weekend, at that stage, it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
They've made it before. Admittedly, they got absolutely grubbed as soon as they got there. But stranger things have happened. I had it mentioned on a TikTok live I was doing just before we came on here that you're absolutely right. Stranger things have happened. Teams in worse positions than Fife have made playoffs, have made a push to get to the Final Four weekend. With that, I think of that run that Manchester took to get there. That's one that I look at. Or Coventry. Coventry are always that team who look great at the start, have an absolutely terrible middle, and then somehow get themselves into contention for playoffs. If they get to the weekend, all bets are off. Even if a team has absolutely wiped the league, I would never write off Coventry if they get to the playoff final weekend. But I want to move us on. I want to talk about a team in particular. We're going to come to the top in a second, but we've all got the taste of tangerine on our tongue here, and we all have to talk about it. The Sheffield Steelers have had an absolute stinker of a couple of weekends. So 2 points out of a potential 10 over the last 5 games. The only win that they've had has come in a 6-0 defeat of the Dundee Stars during their Scotland triple header. They were well and truly beaten by both Glasgow and the aforementioned Fife Flyers. Dundee proving their skill there by managing to be shut out and beaten considerably, awfully, by a really, really bad Sheffield team. Sheffield then came to Belfast, and I don't want to say they were terrible performances by Sheffield, but they were certainly not fantastic. They were not what you would expect from a Sheffield Steelers team, losing out 5-1 and 7-1 on consecutive nights. My question to you is, and we'll come back to talk about the Giants in a second here, but are Sheffield that bad, or were Belfast, Glasgow and Fife just that good?
Watching... Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry.
Go ahead, Dave.
Dave.
Watching the Steelers, they had some fantastic plays, and from watching them, you could tell that those players wanted it. They wanted to win, but it just seemed that they were gripping the stick too hard. They were trying to force every action, just every single step, every single rush seemed forced and heavy. And a lot of that, I think, is just mindset. We know that the Steelers are a fantastic hockey team. We know that Aaron Fox can be an amazing coach. But from watching him on Saturday, he looked, at the start of the game, he looked defeated.
Yeah.
He just didn't look like he was up for a big challenging weekend. We expect now when you see Aaron Fox, he can be guilty of being overly emotional, but he just looked like he was he came out and he was going through the motions.
Yeah.
There was no energy. Now they did nothing wrong. I just think that they sort of give it up a bit too much. Like they were forcing it, and then a mistake, and then they were back checking. They weren't doing it. They weren't putting. It
It was
didn't
the
came easy to them.
consistency. It was
Yeah,
it
it was.
felt a bit disconnected, and the consistency wasn't there. And
You're saying they were consistently inconsistent? That phrase
consistently
that we come back to
inconsistent.
since basically season 1 of this podcast.
Yes. And to answer your question, John, about because it was Belfast, Glasgow, and Dundee. Fife.
Dundee were beaten by them.
Yes. Okay.
Every other team beat them.
If it was a story that we were just asking, and it was the Giants had beaten them and all that, then we'd be going, oh, the Giants are awesome. And let's face it, Giants are awesome. Okay, we're Giants fans.
Yeah.
But these are cream teams across the board. There's obviously something not sitting quite well in the Sheffield Steelers, and it could be, as Dave said, maybe it's a mindset problem. They've had a couple of rough runs, and they just need to get that motivation. Motivation's the wrong word, but they get that mindset back that they can play, and they've proven it before. This time last month, I'm looking back at standings from the start of December. Like it was this time last month, they were second. So on the 11th of December, they were second in the league. So things have fallen quite a bit.
I mean, compared to other teams who've dropped 1 or 2 games here or there, like I said at the start of the segment, to only take 2 points out of a potential 10, and when you consider 6 of those points were in Scotland against, with the greatest of respect to them, teams that Sheffield should be beating on a regular basis. We're talking about the bottom 2 teams in the league and one that's sitting currently in 7th. So
but they're another team I want to talk, because on the 9th of December they were 4th. So that's another, like that. We were talking about that middle block earlier. That's pretty consistent in the way it is. There hasn't been much change, but Glasgow Clan does continually go down just a little bit every couple of weeks.
If you take the form for Sheffield over the last 15 games, that would get them 7th in the league over the last 15 games. Only 1 point above Fife. For the last 15 games. And that is absolutely huge when you take into consideration
it is. Sorry,
the Giants and all.
I don't need to jump across you, but I want to ask one other question about this before I move us on to look at the very top of the league. Around Sheffield, there's been quite a lot of social media chat, and really Sheffield fans are not happy, understandably, with the results over the last couple of weekends. They're also very unhappy about the lack of acknowledgement at how bad and unacceptable the last 2 weekends have been from an organisational standpoint. There has been nothing. There has been no statement. There has been nothing to say the team has the full backing for Fox. The team is actively looking at ways to fix the problems. What they've gone back to is what Sheffield normally does, which is, here's a raffle, here's a reason to come, here's 1,000 rally towels which are going to be put out this weekend for fans over the 2 games this weekend.
The big one I seen,
which is basically enough for everyone in the arena to be swinging 2 rally towels. So there's been a lack of an acknowledgement, which has riled up the fans. My question, though, is that something that we're surprised about when it comes to Sheffield, or is this just the Sheffield archetypal way of dealing with this sort of issue?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. The Sheffields, they have mixed comms in general. They've always been a bit hit and miss. Like you were saying about like the towels. The other thing was they done a big flashback, the arena like anniversary. They done a big like showing you pictures the whole way historically through the years, and you're sitting going off the back of probably the worst away weekend over the last few seasons. You're going, maybe you could have held that for a few days and use that just before, but it's hard to, especially when you're Sheffield. You can't always be looking back. That's what it felt like. It was like, oh look, we're amazing. Last season, that's what it felt like whenever they were showing this flashback. It wasn't looking forward. It wasn't looking like what are they going to do next. And a big chunk of that is, I think, it's easier to ignore it. And I know that the Giants were guilty of it as well. Coming out of the CHL, they just sort of kept going on with the movements. But yeah, it's difficult. The difference being now it's over halfway through the season. Now they're struggling. You would hope to hear, even if it is just, Foxy's staying here to the end of the year. He's got, everyone's behind him.
Yeah.
We're gonna get out of this. At the minute, anything would be better than the silence. Now,
It feels like
Yeah, that's true.
there has to be a happy medium between, because I know we were talking about Fife earlier. Fife are doing quite a good job at that communication. I think there was talk a while back about over communication, but I think they're doing a good job at that communication and keeping things transparent.
Yeah.
You say they keep doing well at keeping things transparent. Let's not touch on the issue of their title sponsor, shall we? Guys, let's move on quickly when it comes to the league standing, so we can get stuck into the 2 or 3 stories that we have to talk about in this period as well, because there is someone behind this wall tapping their feet waiting to watch the Traitors with me as soon as I'm finished. Top of the league, I'm going to miss out the 2 teams that are between Sheffield and the team at the top, because one of them, I just don't care. They haven't really done much. And one of them we're going to talk quite a lot about, and maybe why they've moved down a couple of places in the table over the last weekend. But guys, the Belfast Giants, we mentioned earlier, 2 massive wins over the Sheffield Steelers last weekend. And when it comes to solidifying that position, another decent win over Guildford midweek this week as well has put Belfast right at the top of the league with now a points gap. Has really solidified them there, and with at least a game in hand across the teams that are chasing them. We're obviously Belfast fans, guys. Let's very quickly, you've each got 20 seconds maximum. How good is it to see Belfast at the top? Dave?
It was a long time coming.
I give him 20 and he takes 2. Aaron?
Yeah.
Of course, it's awesome to see. It feels, again, that consistency thing. I feel like we've always done this. We've always had a little bit of a rough start, and then just after Christmas, things come back. To be fair, that's usually when Besco comes back, and then that's when it's really good to see that we can do it. We love Besco. Of course, we'd love to see him back. But we can, of course, it's amazing to see that we can do it without him.
Absolutely. Guys, that's the league standings as they are. Let's move on and let's have a look at the very few stories that we have. It's actually, I was looking through, I was doing my research for this one. It's actually been a very quiet news fortnight since the last podcast, which if you're me and jumping into the hosting side of things, was great because there wasn't actually a huge amount of work to do. There was, however, some fairly big news out of Fife, to be fair, and we did cover it on our socials, on our TikTok channel, but this was the fact that the Flyers mid-season in the first season of new ownership and a new direction and a new approach have made leadership changes within the organisation already. Stephen Thompson has come in as the new Chief Operating Officer, obviously taking over from Gareth, who stepped aside, citing multiple personal reasons as to why he was leaving the organisation. We also then have Max Berbrere, the GM, is taking a step back from the organisation. So Max is seen to be one of the key reasons why Fife survived the turmoil of last season, and was key in bringing about the new co-ownership from overseas into Fife. Citing personal and health reasons, he's stepping back. And stepping into that role is current head coach Jamie Russell. He's going to then take on the additional role of GM as well. Now, he's subsequently put out a statement saying that he is actively working on recruitment for next season. That would seem to suggest that at the very least he will be sticking around as GM going into next season. Most likely, I think we can probably read into that Jamie Russell will be the head coach of the Fife Flyers going into 2026-27 as well. And the other thing that we have as well is we have Rebecca Thompson, who has been working with the club for the last little while, but she's stepping forward into the head of marketing and social media as well. To be fair, and I have to say this, if you have a look at the likes of TikTok and Instagram, I will hold up and say that Fife are probably head and shoulders above everyone else when it comes to the content they generate. It's just a shame that every single time they put something out, it comes from that barn. If there was content of that quality coming out of places like the SSE and the Motorpoint and the Utilita Arena, then it would be absolutely fantastic. It's just a shame that it comes with a every single video comes with a tinfoil top on it because it comes from that rink. Guys,
I was wondering what you meant by that. I was like, are you saying that it shouldn't be coming out of Fife at all? Like, but it's because of the style. No. Okay, I get you.
It's the style. But guys, big changes in the back room in Fife. I did pose the question online and nobody really bit on it, to be honest. Is this the news that you want to be hearing from Fife right now? In particular, I want to look at the hiring of Stephen Thompson because he's a name that's well known in this area around Fife. He was involved with Dundee Football Club, was well known for being tight on the money, is blamed by the fan base there for causing turmoil within the club and causing the downfall of the club. He's also had businesses go into receivership as well, and like that's public information. We're not being spurious about that. So there are a lot of people saying, well, we're going to have to wait and see how this goes. The second one that I want you to consider when I give you a chance is the fact that Max Berbrère is stepping back. I listed the reasons why he was seen as being incredibly important. Now, obviously, he's got personal reasons for stepping back, but there's the public face of what that looks like, given the current situation within Fife, with some of the decisions that have been made, some of the high key departures that have happened over the last couple of months. Dave, what does that suggest to you is the current state of things in Kirkcaldy?
Yeah, if you were a Fife fan right now, you would be a bit concerned. You don't want to see this sort of upheaval. I know that there was roles empty that needed filled, and obviously Max has his own issues that he needs to overcome, and you want to look for long-term stuff. Maybe holding that under your hat till the end of the season. There's no reason why all these, these could all have been held together. You could have announced your social media marketing person. It's not a problem. And then brought everything in probably when they start, properly start in the off season. And then that way you're allowing like Max to step back, and he could have stepped back anyway, because Jamie's going to be filling that role. You could have had him Jamie stepping up as a temporary GM or partner GM, because of these issues. But the positive to that is what you alluded to at the start. It means that they're setting themselves up for a longer term, which is what Fife always missed. You knew, like, you used to look back and you always knew that Doots was coming back, but they never announced it until the week before. And it is that there was never this plan. There was never more than the end of the season. So there's a huge positive that comes with it, as well as a sort of a shaky negative. But I think it's the right thing to do based on what we've seen in the past in Fife, where there was no communication. I think giving them this additional level of transparency. It has its drawbacks, but because there was so little before, it'll make the whole fan base a lot more settled.
Yeah. Aaron, what's your thoughts?
Anthony stole the words out of my mouth. Stormin, Foreman, Norman. Anthony, you're just reading my mind, buddy. That's exactly it. Like, Fife have been that ship that's been the same for the last how many years. They finally start doing some change. Things haven't settled. There's a bit of storming. There's also other things that are going on with Fife, different signings that people don't agree with and personal reasons and stuff like that. So all of that's happening. Things are going to shuffle around. This might not be the last change that we see. There might be more. That's just me. I'm not saying I've heard anything, by the way. I'm just saying there might be other things that happen because of
Fife stock price falls through the floor because of.
But it was a huge change for Fife at the start of the season. Things take a while to settle down. Things take a while to hire and find the right people, the gel right. There might be more to change.
Yep. And just to plug as well, if you're going to be in Belfast next weekend, Anthony's coming over for the weekend. He's going to be at the Giants as well. I think he's getting in a couple of other things as well. I think Marty's been helping him to plan the trip. So I'm hoping now that Marty's in the sort of rest and recoup phase that he's going to take some time out and still be able to catch up with Anthony as well. Even if he is, technically, he's not road kill, but he's definitely road bump. So yeah, hopefully he's able to catch up with you, Anthony. Guys, thanks for the insight on the Fife stuff. I'm obviously quite close to it here, and I hear a lot more about it. So it's always nice to get you guys your insight into that when you're slightly further away, which is great. I'm going to move us on. Aaron, we have some news out of Dublin. All this talk of expansion is still going.
Yeah, so there, as you kind of mentioned there has been a big announcement. I believe it was this week, right? That honestly, genuinely could change the landscape of UK or Irish UK hockey, right?
Yep.
Because plans have been published for what was 190 million euro ice sports and entertainment arena in Cherrywood, South Dublin. Huge cost. It's going to be a purpose-built facility with two Olympic-sized rinks, a high-performance training center, and the main arena holding up to 5,000 fans for hockey. That's an interesting number. Remind me, Odyssey is 11?
It's
11
7.
for concerts. It's around 8.5 for.
Yeah.
Is it about 8? 8 for hockey full capacity with these standard?
Yeah, with a full bowl, it's 7 without it.
Yeah, so still we're not talking small numbers here. It's still like 5,000 hockey
You're
fans.
just slightly bigger than the Vindico, but with more stuff. So the ice hockey part of it will be sort of Vindico sized on their main pad, but then, like you said, there's a second Olympic pad to go there as well, like a training facility. So it's almost like someone took Sheffield, shrunk down the Aviva and plonked it there, and then put Ice Sheffield in the same building. Is essentially what they're doing, or it's just Dundonald on steroids with extra ice.
That's how they should put it in the tagline. But yeah, so
listen,
crucially,
if they need a media marketing guy, I am available for contract work.
There. So it's going to become Dublin's first permanent ice hockey or ice sports home, making it actually to be the only capital city in Northern Europe to finally tick that box. They're the only capital city in Northern Europe that hasn't got a permanent ice hockey rink. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just their capital doesn't have it. They don't have any ice facilities in Ireland.
There's no permanent ice.
Only Dundonald and Belfast, the only on the island. Their curling team goes over to Scotland to train. So this is well overdue. But the thing that gets me is still no government money.
Oh,
this is entirely private funded.
Well, let's be fair. I mean, when you talk about Ireland and public money, They were somewhat lacking of it for a long time, and they have a lot of buildings with some slightly dodgy concrete that they're going to have to fix over the next 10 years, from what I remember before I moved away.
They have,
So,
but they spent what was it, £8,000 on a bike shed outside the Dublin courts. So I think they can throw a few pound to get some ice facilities in.
or if you punt, hey.
Hey.
Guys,
But
I'll
of
tell you
course
what the most interesting.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no. So
No,
I'll
I was
tell
just
you what the
gonna
most
say, it's just-
interesting thing about this.
Go for it.
I'll tell you what the most
I'll tell you
interesting
about
thing
this.
about this. Oh,
What
stop it,
happened over
Dave.
here?
So I'm out. See you later.
He's away to watch the
You're on your
traders. He's been locked down.
I'm not gonna lie. I very nearly tripped on that cable that I said was really important. I actually nearly pulled everything off the desk. It was nearly a complete disaster. You were actually nearly on your own. Sorry. The one thing that I find really impressive about the story, or important about the story as it was presented, was they are presenting the fact that this facility will house an elite league team, and they're presenting that as fact. So what we
Are they
have
presenting it
here
as fact?
is they are presenting it basically as fact in this story, and they are saying the venue is expected to host an elite league ice hockey team. So that tells me franchise expansion has already been granted.
Interesting. I did see that, and I was about to ask. There was talk of the Elite League. Do we think that's going to happen? I didn't see it as a. It's definitely happening.
Well, this one seems to definitely be happening. The other one, which I mean we've talked about loads, is there's two places that are open for expansion. There's still the talk of the new facility in Liverpool as well, which I would love to see. I'd love to see more hockey over in the West. Admittedly, it could not be further away from me, unless it was Guildford or I was going to say Dublin. Dublin's pretty far away as well, or Cardiff. That's the other one that's about as far away from me as possible. But yeah, they are presenting this Dublin expansion as fact. If this is built, now plans are expected to be submitted through the summer, and you have to imagine this area of Dublin is going through massive upheaval. It's being redeveloped at a hell of a pace. It's right next to the motorway. The only issue for me was I was looking at it on the map is it's right down in South Dublin. So it's not like you get to Dublin and you're there. It's you get to Dublin, you then have to go all the way round Dublin to get there. So you talk about it being a potential for a nice derby, a local derby for Belfast, finally, after, 25 years of existence. It's not just the hour and a half down to Dublin. It's probably the guts of 2.5 hours of travelling, and that's if traffic coming through Dublin is reasonably easy, which oftentimes it is not. So,
and isn't the M50 is always tolled as well? So once you go through to the South Dublin, it's going to cost you whatever it is. Was it €5?
It'll cost you for that unless you want to go through the non-toll, so go further out of Dublin to come back round. So yeah, it is what it is. We'd love to see a permanent ice pad, but we'd love to see a team expand. We'd love to see the league expand. I remember when the league was 12 teams, it was great. So I'd love to see it back up to 11, 12, maybe more teams as we continue down the road.
And it's amazing that there's going to be that rivalry between the two teams. I was thinking about this earlier. It's going to be amazing to have another team to back. Like we're Giants through and through, but another team in Ireland, you're gonna love them.
Always Anthony is he's so much sharper at this than we are. Dublin versus Belfast, El Clasicato.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Oh, and here's the host as well, giving his little tuppence. Yellow Tato is superior. Sorry guys, see cheese and onion, rank.
You're wrong.
Yeah, no, you can be more.
Sorry. I'm right. I like a nice. I like.
Where's the
side of the fence I'm from? But
someone out?
I have it. I'm the host. Look at me.
Who? What's he done?
Dave, just because you have admin access. Anyway, guys, let's move on. One last story for period one. As we know, we are coming up to Elite League Pride week. Well, actually, technically, it's Pride Fortnight this time round. Over the next 2 weekends, all 10 Elite League teams will host a Pride event at home, at least one. And the Elite Ice Hockey League is once again working in partnership with Switchboard as they did last season. The National LGBTQIA plus support line offers its services to anyone who needs it. And this is, I believe it's just the second, it might be the third year that the Elite League and Switchboard have gone into partnership. Now, I haven't thrown this up on a slide. Every fan around the league is going to see these because all the team stripes are going to wear special jerseys with the rainbow stripes on them, and the Switchboard logo will be underneath the number. They're showing last year's. I can't imagine they're going to massively change the design on these ones. I think these.
I was going to ask, is that is last year's one. It's lovely though. It's a real like. Could we not should be talking about this in period 3 because it's a nice for a ref jersey, to be fair. It's nice.
It is nice. It is. But the reason I didn't put it in was they haven't said, or they haven't released officially what the jersey is. What they've done with the news pieces just show last year's jersey. So until they release or say that we've got something different, then I didn't want to throw it up there and be wrong, because we're always right on this podcast, and I can't take the hosting duties and accidentally be incorrect when it comes to it. But guys, again, just very, very quickly, it's great that the league is supporting a cause like Switchboard.
100%.
Awesome.
Great. Thanks for the input, guys. With that, then I am going to move us on. It's time.
Dave tried to put some comments in there, and you're just talking over him. Marty's such a better host.
Brilliant.
So, your period, Dave.
Welcome to period 2, where we'll talk about hockey from all over the world. I will get started with the standings, and we'll spend an awful lot of time talking about the Predators, because I think they're probably the most important one to talk about right now. And for some reason I can't have the two screens at the same time. Hold on. There we go.
Stick with us, everyone. We're professionals at this.
That's it. Yeah. You threw me off shouting at me, so.
While you're doing that, John, do you know where the Predators are in the league?
Honestly, after the start they had, I kind of stopped looking. I'm kind of scared to open the link on our running order, if I'm totally honest. I've seen them get a couple of wins. Like, my watch tells me in the morning how the scores went. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
I almost done the mistake that I make every episode and not pick today's date in the calendar. I was going to give you the stats from the 3rd of October.
Nice.
So, over in the East, in the Atlantic Division, with the Tampa Bay Lightning, 66 points. Detroit Red Wings, 66 points. And the Montreal Canadiens with 63 points. And then over into the Metropolitan, we have the Colorado Hurricanes with 66 points. The Pittsburgh Penguins with 59. The New York Islanders with 59. And in the wild card spots, we have the Buffalo Sabres with 59 and the Boston Bruins with 58. The Toronto Maple Leafs in 3rd in the wildcard spot, so just outside those, and the same with the Philadelphia Flyers in 4th in the wildcard spot, so just outside the that area. So, and then in the West, in the Central, the Colorado Avalanche with 77 points, the Dallas Stars with 65 points, the Minnesota Wild with 65 points, and then the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights 60 points, the Oilers with 58 points, and the Anaheim Ducks with 55. The wildcard spots there being taken up by the Utah Mammoth at 56 points and the Seattle Kraken with 53 points. The Nashville Predators are 5th in the wildcard with 50 points. So just out off the pace a wee bit.
Yeah, we've definitely come back from the start of the season, thankfully. It's been pretty brutal. And the one thing I will say is, like, I've been keeping up more because my wee man's now sleeping through the night. I've not been watching as much overnight hockey. Like, don't ask me how, but my 3.5-month-old is being put to bed at 11 o'clock and he's sleeping through till like 7 o'clock in the morning. So, like,
Nice.
other parents don't hate on me, but I'm not watching any overnight hockey now, which kind of sucks. But Roman Yossi seems to just be carrying that team, which is great to see. The other thing that strikes me again, look at the Avs. Like, we always say the West is an absolute bloodbath. It is, unless you are the Colorado Avalanche. Then you are the ones causing the bloodbath. I mean, they are head and shoulders above everyone in the West. I think it's only fair that they get moved to the East and somebody gets brought across to the West, because
even it out of
that points gap's not fair.
Right now, yeah, it's painful.
The West is like our Challenge Cup group. Basically, it's Belfast and the Scottish teams. Right now, it's Colorado Avalanche and everyone else in the West.
Yeah,
I
but
can't disagree with it.
for the last, again, comparing it to the last time he's done the podcast, those top three are still the same top three. So last time you talked, Dallas Stars were second, Minnesota Wild were third. Compare that to anywhere else. Like, I know I was giving you stick for the Preds there, but last time you talked in the Metropolitan Division, like, Phillies were the Flyers were third, and they've not even in the Wild, like, they were third, and they have dropped all the way down to, as Dave said there, the 4th position in the wild card spot. So there's some major changes there on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Colorado as well is they're playing really well. They're managing their games, and they've got games in hand, which is bonkers. But we'll see how it goes. Would you like me to take Marty's piece, considering he's not here?
You can if you want.
I will do. So the past weekend, the Dish Plate of Destiny was awarded to the Nottingham Panthers for the second time. So they're the first Elite League team to win the Continental Cup twice, which is no mean feat. They almost done it in spectacular style, and then John went and scudded them.
He did. It is John's fault.
It's what I do.
They had been going into the third period having not conceded a goal. And
they didn't concede a goal in the tournament until I think it was like 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it was
that's
2.
wild.
And it went right to the wire as well, as I remember, after that. But a phenomenal effort and a well-deserved piece of silverware for them. The Continental Cup is by far my favourite tournament. I think it's perfect for a sort of weekend event. It's like our Final Four playoff weekend on steroids. It's just absolutely epic, especially considering this new format they went with this time round, with the 6 teams.
Yep.
Doing the round robin and then the knockouts, then the table and the finals. Really worked in my opinion. I think it made for a really entertaining weekend, even from a sort of casual, not too, like, I didn't care who won. It was nice to see someone in the Elite League win, but I wouldn't have been too concerned either way. But it was good to see the Elite League team, and it really just solidifies that Nottingham is the team we think they are this season. I think we all talked about it at the start of the year. They're a phenomenal squad, and they are the sort of like polar opposite to Sheffield. They are consistent. Their consistency is really keeping them solid. starting from the back end with fantastic netmind, and we talked about this all season long. So,
But you know what?
absolutely
What I want to mention that about the net minding was the fact that they spread their net minding over the weekend. So Grande got the start on their second game against Katowice and got the shutout. Kevin Carr got the first shutout against Mogo, and then Carr was selected for the grand final game. So what we've seen over recent years from multiple Elite League teams, and the same was true of Nottingham last season when Grande came into the squad, is one starter, one superstar netminder, one Tyler Beskorowany. Yes, admitted, we had Jackson Whistle while Besko was there as well. But you probably wouldn't expect West to pull the shutout. You would maybe expect them to get you the win, but maybe not the shutout, in the same way that you had those same expectations of Tyler Beskorowany. With the netminding pair that they seem to have now, admittedly, the 2 goals in 35 seconds in the grand final game, it took it to a 1-goal game. Empty net goal sealed it, 4-2 win, whatever. That came from immense pressure coming from Torpedo, but that near shutout across a tournament should have every single team in the Elite League really worried. Because we know how good a team like Katowice are. Now, on the other side, it wasn't just a shutout. Nottingham went off and scored goals at this tournament as well. And they scored goals on really, really good teams. Putting 4 past Katowice, putting 4 past... actually, they put 4 past every competitor that they faced.
Yeah.
So, that's mad. If you're Nottingham Panthers fans coming back into domestics, you're thinking you're in with a shot here.
Yeah, well, that was my
the treble's still on for them. The quadruple is still on for them. They could put all 3 trophies on the dinner plate.
And it sounds like, and I know that the Giants are planning on winning everything, but if the Giants decide to stop playing, I would like to see them do that. Like, it would just.
Do you know what? If they win the league, the cards are there right now because we know they're facing Sheffield in the semi-final of the stupidest competition in British hockey, the Challenge Cup. Right now, I wouldn't put past them to demolish the Steelers. If they do that and they win everything, I almost demand that when they lift the playoff trophy, that it is done using the dinner plate. It's not a question. They have to do it. If they don't, bags.
Oh, phenomenal.
I was going to ask with them now not having to, because they were split across the 2 different leagues. Now they've only got the focus on the IHL. So do we see?
But that's the thing. They weren't. So because the way the tournament was changed, when we've done the Continental Cup before, Cardiff, I think, Cardiff still had to go and play a round previously, even though they hosted the grand final. Nottingham got straight through to the grand final because of the change of the tournament into a 6-team final rather than 4. So actually, you could say it played to their hand. There were a couple other teams who got that bye as well. I think Katowice, for example, were one of them. They got byes right through to the final. They've played less games. They played 3 games to win a trophy. Again, help me make the Challenge Cup make sense when a European competition is already done. The CHL is going to actually be done as well before our Challenge Cup is. Mind-blowing. But I'm not going to go more into the Challenge Cup again. But I think it's played into their hands. They're going to come off a high. They're the first Elite League team to lift silverware this year. So they need to take that momentum and go. Every Elite League team should be worried in Nottingham Panthers going forward for the next 3 months.
100%.
Great.
And I think there's the flip side as well, is they'll also have the big target on them. They are the team to beat. So there's more kudos in beating them. So that'll be interesting to watch. And we'll see how the rest of the season goes for them. And John, that'll take us on to our last piece in period 2.
Yep. So the Cup of Nations, the European Cup of Nations is upcoming. It's going to take place in Murrayfield up here in Edinburgh on between Thursday the 5th and Saturday the 7th of February at what the Ice Hockey UK calls the famous old rink. I'm not entirely sure how well received that might be in Edinburgh. I'm pretty sure it's not famous. It might more be infamous, considering how bloody cold it is in there. But they have announced the first of their lineup for the tournament. So they seem to be slowly announcing the lineup for this squad. So the first three players who will be facing Poland, Slovenia, and Ukraine are, of course, Liam Kirk of the Ice Baron Berlin, Chris Inglis of the Dundee Stars, and Logan Nielsen of the Fife Flyers. What a tail off after that first name when you look at the teams that they are competing with. One thing just to point out though, on if you haven't been paying attention to Liam Kirk recently, you absolutely should be paying attention to what Liam Kirk is doing right now. He has played 41 matches, 29 goals and 18 assists. He is one of the top scorers in the Dell right now.
He went on a 9-game streak with scoring a goal in every game or something.
Yep. I think he had 10 goals in 9 games.
Aye.
So,
unbelievable.
Like, no harm, but we all, like, when he was sent through, when he was drafted, all the rest of it, we kind of went, yeah, but it'll only go so far. We've seen other ones do this. He's the real deal. Like, he's still young. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting... He's 26 now. I don't think he's got that call-up waiting. I think, like, the Dell is probably the peak. Maybe the AHL at some point in the next couple of years. I think technically, do Utah have his rights now because he was signed by Carolina?
No, the Coyotes.
Or Coyotes, sorry, not Carolina, Arizona.
Yeah.
So technically, do the Mammoth have it? Does that mean the Mammoth have his rights?
I think that's the way it works.
So, I don't know, do we eventually see him go to one of their affiliates if he keeps playing the way that he is in the Dell? You can't argue with the potential there. But
also
separate to all that, here's the opportunity to go see him play away from Berlin in an arena where they still have wooden seats. Actually, that's unfair. I think they have plastic seats, but they're still terrible.
They changed them?
Yeah, I think they changed them. I think they put plastic seats in. You no longer go and get splinters.
Yeah, I wonder if they're still giving out the free tea and coffee to keep you from getting hypothermia.
That was just to stop lawsuits.
The last time I was at Murrayfield, it was so cold that the ice met you at the door as you were coming in. It had spread out over the bottom of the rink, and it was just absolutely bonkers. And I got my free coffee and I brought a hip flask. It was fantastic. And then we done the Brewdog night as well. That's right. And
we went to Brewdog. We managed to, I don't want to even say sneak, I'm pretty sure we just carried in growlers, which were 2 litres of beer. I sat and drank them in the stands. Nobody cared. And then while we were in there, it was so cold, we hadn't realised that when we went outside, it had snowed, and it was somehow still warmer outside in the 1.5 foot of snow than it was inside the rink.
Maybe they just have it right that it means that you're not going to be served warm beer.
Yeah, they don't need to worry about refrigeration. That's why it's so good there. The beer lines are actually underneath the ice, keeping the ice cold and keeping the beer cold too.
Boom. And you're set. But that's the 3 players that have been announced now. The rest of the squad's being announced when?
Dripping it until the...
I think they'll drip it until the tournament. I imagine we'll get a big drop of the roster fairly soon because we're only a couple of weeks away now from this tournament.
Yeah.
So I imagine we'll get a fair bit more probably over the coming days. Maybe starting this weekend, we might see a few more names drop down.
You hoping to get down to it?
It'll be a tough one for me. Maybe on one of the days, if I'm a very, very, very good boy, I might get to go. So GB are playing Thursday at 6:30. I have no chance of going to that one. Friday at 6:30, very slim outside chance of going to that one. And the Saturday at 6:30 as well. Probably the strongest opportunity for me to go. But it all depends on how things are at home. As we all know, as we're all parents. So yeah,
there's feet at the door to watch the traders after this podcast. Let's hurry up, wrap it up so you can watch the traders, so you can go to Murrayfield.
Exactly. I need to keep certain people on side, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's, Anthony at Banners is saying you're saving your trip for the Edinburgh Caps versus Kilmarnock Thunder.
Can't wait. Massive SNL fan right here.
And with that is the end of period 2. You hit the button.
And we move swiftly on to
period 3.
Period 3.
Sort of
Never mind. Script's gone out the window.
He had one job. All he had to do was hit the damn button.
Let's just get this over with, shall we?
Things are so smooth without Marty. It's amazing.
Marty would have known what to do.
Exactly. We are now on to, as John and Dave nicely said, on to period 3, which is nicely known as Knocky News.
Knocky News.
Knocky News.
Jesus, 10 years and one can never get that right. Welcome to Knocky News. We did have a topic to talk about some TV show that is hot off the press at the moment. Everyone's talking about it. Loving ice hockey, but none of us have watched it yet.
Do you know what? All we know is Marty, massive fan. And he's not here.
Huge fan.
So we need to wait for Marty to tell us all about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
He
I
kept saying he was going to tell us it all. But...
I've talked to a few friends.
He keeps sending us the aubergine emoji in the chat. I just don't know what it's about.
You just joke. I've talked to a few friends in America. They are loving it over there.
Aubergines. Do they not call them eggplants?
They call it eggplants.
Eggplants. But with Marty not here to tell us all about this amazing TV show, what we're going to do is move on to, I think, what's really John's favorite part about the podcast. And let's look at some jerseys. John, hit the button. Oh, look at that. That was smooth.
Yeah, look at that smooth.
See that? You see that?
So we are first. Who are we looking at here? The Blaze Pride jersey. I'm going to throw it out here. Who wants to give their thoughts first?
I'll do it. It's a Skyline jersey. I don't like Skyline jerseys.
So it is.
I don't.
Yeah.
I get it. It's Coventry Pride. The colours are good. I always like the way that Coventry build the colours into their logo. They've got one of the most intricate logos still in the league. They're one of the teams that has not updated their logo to go for something super simple, flattened, all the rest of it for replicating and making huge, whatever.
Yep.
That's always done really, really well. The rest of the jersey is boring, and I don't like skylines being put around the waistband. I just don't.
Do you not think it gives it that sense of ownership that they are here for? Well, I suppose it's splitting the audience then, so it's supposed to be a Pride jersey, but it's a Pride jersey for Coventry.
Well, no, it's a Pride. It's like Pride, the city.
Yeah.
What's the phrase that we have in Belfast? A proud city takes pride in you. I get that that's not what they're talking about when they use that phrase in Belfast, but I understand the sentiment behind it. But I don't like any jersey that has the city skyline in it. I just don't think it ever looks nice. I've never seen one done well enough for me to like it.
There you go.
Dave? I quite like it. I like a city jersey just to be awkward because Marty's not here to do it. One thing I don't like about their jersey is they could have tried to saturate their sponsors. It does take away from their hard work with the jersey. And I know that that's difficult. I talk about it myself a lot, that we live and die on our sponsorship and stuff like that. But if you can even just saturate it black and white or something, it's usually enough to take your eye away from it. Especially on a Pride jersey when your own colors are a lot brighter.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you were to go for one of the two of them, you go on for the white one or you go on for the navy one?
I'd go
The
for a
white one.
pint in the bar instead of buying shirt off the back.
Pint in the bar rather than buying a shirt off the back. Ouch.
Yep.
Ouch.
Actually,
Dave?
that being said, that's not how Coventry are doing it, actually, because I looked this up whenever they put this out. You'll notice at the bottom of the image that I've put there that it says gamers available to buy now. You can go
wow.
on and you can claim your game worn jersey already. I think they're £130 to claim the gamer. Some of them were already gone. Some of them were still
We're not
available
doing
a
it as
couple
a
of days
bid.
ago.
It's straight up 130.
Straight sale.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting. Cool.
Yep. Very interesting.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we've got the good old bird.
Love
Dave,
it.
if you don't mind, I'm going to move to John because I think we already know how John feels about this. John, tell us your thoughts on this jersey.
I don't like it. No, I love it. Absolutely love it. That, hands down, 10 out of 10, no notes. It's the best executed Pride jersey of the season. Fife haven't released theirs yet. I've seen the other 9. This is the best one.
Yeah.
It's simple. The sponsors are desaturated. They're also made incredibly small. They're within the shoulders. There's a couple on the arms, but they're desaturated. The colour, the banding, the way that it bounces, the way that it connects up to the Guildford Flames logo, the shoulder designs, the arm stripes, all of it works. All of it is fantastic. It's the one thing, Guildford don't do special jerseys all that often, but when they do, they are something special, and this is one of them. This is gorgeous.
Dave, I don't think you can't go for the opposite of John in this jersey, can you?
It should be white.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Are you
It's
saying that just
absolutely
to be
gorgeous.
awkward, or are you actually saying it should be white?
It is an absolutely gorgeous jersey. I think if it was a white jersey, it would have made the colors even more prominent. And I know the reason it's dark is because it's their home game, blah 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 blah. But I do like it. It is a nice jersey.
I actually don't. I think that the dark makes the colors really pop. And like John, I love the banding. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It has this like 80s feel about it with that bouncing kind of like the DVD logo.
I
just
do like it.
bouncing
It is
around,
nice.
stuff like that. So
Screensaver.
yeah, like
It screams Commodore 64.
Commodore 64. John, I'm gonna agree with you. I think it's a really well done jersey.
Yep.
Next.
I don't want to go on to the next one. I just want to sit and look at this one for 10 minutes. Everyone just be quiet.
Cool.
Shut up.
Put it in
Nah,
the
we'll
chat.
move on.
Let us know on TikTok, Twitter, whatever we've got. Okay. John, put it back to the previous slide.
Yeah, sorry. This is an assault on the senses.
Interesting. Dave, tell us your thoughts.
John, do you like it?
Whoop!
No, it's absolutely amazing.
Sorry for the people that are listening. The people that are listening to us, we have moved on to the Glasgow Clans Pride jersey. Dave, what are your thoughts? You love it? Did you say?
I love it. No, I have to agree with it. It's not. It's not doing. Yeah, it's not doing it for me. Mel Gibson looks good in this one, but I think the hearts, the way they've done the hearts, takes. It just doesn't. I don't know. It's hard to.
There's no
it's hard
design.
to describe. Yeah, it's like they went all to that effort to give Mel Gibson his rainbow face paint and his rainbow
They've given
sash,
him the rainbow
but then
sash and everything.
and then they went and put these wee hearts on it.
There
Do you
are
know what would be
elements
better?
of the jersey that are nice.
But
As
do you
you
know what
say,
would be
the
better?
logos. Go for it.
Take all the hearts off.
Take all the hearts off and see what they've put in the background of their picture. Put that on the bottom half of the jersey.
Yep, 100%. Just that sweep.
Swoosh.
Yeah.
Have it going all the way, down from the bottom sleeve up to the shoulder or something. And then you've got the big rainbow, and you've got Mel Gibson looking fantastic.
One part that I really do like about this jersey is if you look at some of the sponsorship is also doing the price. So the Vortex. So the
Are they?
that Vortex is totally the symbol beside it. The what is that? It's a
A whirlwind?
Tornado.
It's a
It's a
vortex.
vortex. It's a tornado. It's totally Pride colors.
I don't know what they normally look like, so
Okay, and
Yeah, I
then
don't know. I don't know if they have or if it's normally just red, but like
no, but that's red.
because
It's
Premier
got Pride colors on the vortex. Zoom in.
Premier Sports have done nothing. They're the title sponsor. The other ones are
Yeah.
either normally desaturated the way they are or have done nothing. I'm not entirely sure that Vortex have done something, but because why would
Yeah,
why would they have done it
that-
with one
There's
and not
vortex,
others?
and is it APC
That's their-
top corner with the?
vortex. That's their normal logo.
Is
Yeah.
it actually?
Yeah, just
Sorry.
went and Google it.
Yeah, there's
Just
there's
Google it.
no way they've done that.
All right. Well, then I retract my statement. I thought
happy-
they'd done some of the sponsorships had actually gone along with it and gone for
Happy
the prize stuff.
coincidence.
It's a happy
coincidence.
little accident for Vortex, but no,
Yeah.
that is a brutal jersey, and it should never. If you buy it, I understand why you've bought it for the cause. Don't ever wear that outside.
Buy it so someone else doesn't buy it.
Exactly.
Bless. Okay, so moving from one jersey to another here. This is one that you shared earlier, John, in the chat. So we've got the Manchester
Only released
Storm.
today.
Only released today. John, go for it, buddy.
Cool, poor execution. Dave, you hit it on the head actually with our group chat earlier today. I'm not going to steal your thunder. Go for it. You said what it is.
Yeah. So John sent it to us, and the first thing I seen was oil and water. You know, that where they don't mix, and they get that weird sort of funky color. And it's, in my opinion, when I look at it, I get this like two things don't mix. And that doesn't work for Pride. You know, that makes it really, really tough. If they had have went for a more traditional set of Pride colors, they've done a really good job with their logo.
Yep.
And they're close, if that makes sense. You know, they've tried to do something, just hasn't quite worked. It might look a million times better.
Go look at their 2025 Pride jersey, and you'll instantly see 100 times better, far better executed, better use of the colors and everything. This one, yeah, it's a diesel spill with a Pride version of the Manchester Storm logo on the front.
I have to agree with Dave, though. I think if they had, they've done something strange to the colors of the oil spill.
Yeah.
They're not Pride colors. It's multicolored, but it's not the really strong saturation bold colors. Okay, yes, pink and blues and all that kind of stuff, but it's not the Pride colors. I think
it's not
if
the full rainbow.
Yeah, if they stuck to the rainbow, then they would have got there and not messed around with saturation and stuff. Cool. On to the next one.
So I have to apologise straight off because this is the best image I could get. So the Cardiff Devils released a video showing off their Pride jerseys. What they haven't done yet is release any still images of the jersey. So I had to grab this. This was the best screen grab I could get of the jersey. It is one of my favourites. I actually really like it. Cardiff loves a black jersey. The Cardiff fans love a black jersey as well. So the fact they've done this, there seems to have been a thing about this year's Pride jersey using like quite a deep navy. Cardiff are one of the few who've actually gone for a black jersey. Their logo allows them to do a really good colour splash. I love the silver on the shoulders, even though the Giants got slated for putting silver in theirs last season, and the silver buckets as well. But silver shoulders and all the detailing on this, I think, really, really works. The one thing I want to point out is on the sleeves, those are all hexagons with all the colours on them. I wonder who in Cardiff can't stop thinking about the Giants Causeway.
Well, my question with this jersey, I agree with you. I think it's really nice. Like the Giants had a jersey like this not that long ago. Marty has it, where it's the dark jersey and the rainbow is in dots or hexagons flowing up the jersey.
It was our second one or something.
Yeah, I
the
think
one
so,
after. Yeah, it was. I can remember. So the first one was just like across the chest. I think it was the next one. I really like this. I think it's done a good job. I like to see the more solid banding like we have in the Guildford one, but in saying that, it does the job. It's really bright. It's really nice. I quite like it, and they've done a really good job with their sponsorship. It looks like they've almost taken them all away. They've only
Yeah.
two.
I think they get away with not having that huge banding you're talking about because the logo's so big,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the logo is entirely the rainbow, rather than it being kind of little slithers of it here and there.
Yeah,
It's the entire logo is the
That's
rainbow.
actually something that Cardiff have done right all season with their jerseys. Is their logo is so big on their jerseys. I love it. It's the same through all of their jerseys this season. Like they redesigned their logo with purpose, and it was to be able to put it at scale on stuff like this, and they're doing it 100% right. I don't think they've got a bad jersey this season actually when it comes to Cardiff.
No, and I do like
even
go for it.
even before their previous, the Cardiff jerseys were always pretty sharp. Like,
Yeah, I do like that. And we haven't seen the C badge on the other jerseys, but we can see the C badge here is Pride as well, and the numbering on the shoulders.
The numbers on the shoulders and the back are also rainbowed. I
Yeah.
just didn't have time to throw up a
No,
a
that's
screen
okay,
grab of the back.
But again,
yeah,
that kind of goes
it's-
back to the while we love the banding and having the actual rainbow on there, they have put it quite a lot of places. So this kind of hexagon love for the Giants Causeway really works here.
Yep.
Cool.
Next. So we're going to the NIHL this time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was about to say, who's this? Who are these guys? John, tell us about this jersey.
This is the Leeds Knights. And the NIHL or the EIH is doing its Pride weekend or Pride week in February. So 14th to the 22nd, all those games inclusive, will be across Pride. I think a couple of these teams are using the fact that the Elite League are getting quite a lot of traction and a lot of social media attention. Otherwise, they'd maybe release them another week or so down the line, but they're releasing them at this point as well. Leeds was the first one that I had pointed out to me, and do you know what? It's busy, but that white clear space in the chest actually kind of sells it to me, and I quite like the way that they've incorporated the colours across the sort of the waistband up and across the shoulders. I think it works.
It's it's artistic, right? Because it's watercolors.
right, watercolor.
That's the way it's supposed to be. It's very different. I don't think we've seen something using the watercolor style before when it comes to these jerseys. So, absolutely, I really like it actually.
Yeah, I think this is my my current favorite of them all so far. I think I've really enjoyed it. I really like this one. It's really cool.
I think if they had taken a leaf out of Cardiff's book and done the actual the logo with the knight's head and done the knight head possibly in the full Pride as well, it would have, or even done the logo in the watercolor style as well. Maybe that would have been too much, but it would have been cool.
Last one.
Go for it, buddy.
Close to Anthony's heart, the Basingstoke Bison. I'll let somebody else talk before I do.
I like this. I like the sleeves. I like the sleeves a lot. I think that it's there's no messing around. Yes, okay. There's the logo in the center's got the rainbow coloring in it as well. That's really cool. We've got nice clear jersey on it. It's got the Pride flag.
I was about to say having the Pride flag is the full Pride flag is really good.
Yeah, and then the jerseys. There's no doubting what that is.
It's Anthony making the point that the jersey that we just saw with Leeds and with the Bison, owned by the same people, so the designs are all done by the same folks. That's interesting because there's two very different approaches there between Leeds and the Bison. For me, what sells it to me is that scaling, that scale patterning down those arms. I absolutely love it. Do you know what? If they're done by the same people, tell me this: when something looks like scale armor, why was that not put on the Leeds Knights? Like honestly, like that. Put a big Leeds Knights logo on that black jersey instead, have that be scale armor, rainbow scale armor on a Leeds Knights jersey, that to me is an absolute win.
But you would do it as
I love this.
chainmail armor, not scale armor.
No, scale armor's a thing.
Scale mail, yeah.
Yeah, go look it up. Scale armor.
Yeah, that's what
but
actual knights wore. It's usually on their hands.
yeah. So that I think this, like Dave, you're saying Leeds was one of your favourites. This is one of my favourites. Guildford is still head and shoulders, but I genuinely love that Bison jersey.
Very good. And with that, I don't think we've got any other jerseys to look at.
We don't. I'm aware that the Glasgow Clangus jersey is out, and actually, if I'm being totally honest, it's better executed than the Pride jersey.
There's also fan designed as well.
Yes.
Yep. So I'm sorry that I don't have that one for tonight. Again, it's just out of time. I just didn't have time to throw it on there. Go have a look at it online. It's the hands down best Glasgow Clan jersey, definitely this season, if not for multiple seasons. They certainly didn't steal the Clangus jersey from clip art, like you say. It was a fan who designed it, so they had to actually make the digital art themselves.
The actual release video of Clangus showing it and showing the actual artwork for it was really cool as well.
Still my favorite mascot. Like Clangus is absolutely bonkers.
She's fantastic, and I will hear nothing else in the fact that Clangus is definitely female, because I'm pretty sure they released that. That's why she has bows in her hair and everything.
Friendship bracelets on her horns and all.
Exactly. Guys, with that, there's no more jerseys to talk about, and there's nothing else to talk about. There's no overtime. There's nothing else. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. It's been a journey, shall we say. Let's hope that Marty is back sometime soon to take the reins, because I was hoping for about an hour, and there's an hour and 27 minutes already. Folks, if you want to keep up with everything else that we do here at Door 14 Hockey, the best place that you can go is to follow this QR code and head to our website. If you want to see the video podcast, then why not head to our YouTube channel using this QR code. And if you just want to catch up on all of our socials, then follow this link here in this QR code, and you can find it all there. Of course, the traditional places to catch us, as always, are our social media. You can find us at Door 14 Hockey across all of them. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X occasionally, and most active right now on TikTok, because that's basically what I do. Marty dips in every now and then, and these two guys are eventually, because they got themselves really nice little wireless microphones, they're going to start doing some content very soon for the TikTok channel. Absolutely no pressure by announcing it here on the podcast, guys. But
I have a question about the QR codes.
Yo.
You were talking about the QR codes, and it's like, scan this QR code if you want to go watch the video podcast.
Other ones, it goes to our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Admittedly, if anyone's
Dave gets
watching,
what I mean, though, right?
You can get the video podcast on Spotify, I think.
Okay.
So technically that would take you to YouTube from Spotify. Shut up. All right. Had enough of you guys.
Just
whatever you do over...
He obviously, it's like Marty's been saying this for episodes after episodes, and not once did we question it. He says it once.
Good job,
yeah,
Marty.
Exactly. See,
you do a good job.
Marty says it with so much conviction that we wouldn't even think about doubting him. He says it.
What's that all about?
Whatever way out there you decide to take in your hockey over the next 2 weeks, if you're watching hockey in the Elite League, we hope you have a fantastic time during the Pride Games. And once again, thank you very much for joining us. I have been your stand-in host, John. Alongside me has been Dave.
Hello. Bye.
And
Aaron. Thanks very much.
Because you said my name. Got very confused.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.